What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Strictly Casual. I'm Vincent DeSantis, today joined by Ryder Maldonado, and we just watched Cobra Kai Season 4. Ryder, what do you think?
Oh, baby, let me tell you. As soon as I was finished with this season, I was thinking back to some Twitter reviews, and some people were tweeting out some of the thoughts already initially. And one really stood out to me. They said, "Man, this show, I always forget how fun it is, and then whenever it ends, I can't wait to see another season because of how fun it is." And I think that's
Right.
the best way I can say this season was fun, and it definitely left you even wanting more, even after 4 seasons of, I want to say, almost the same sort of thing. It's kind of the same kind of plot that they do each season, but somehow they reel you in with the heart and the characters. And I love it. What'd you think?
They really get you, dude. Halfway through the season, I'm like, wow, here we go. Next episode. Like, I literally just finished it maybe 20 minutes before recording this.
Mhm.
So I'm still riding the high on the end of the season. The big All Valley tournament. It was epic. The characters are tons of fun. It's campy as ever. It's
Mhm.
cheesy as ever.
Mhm.
I would even say, like, I hate to say it, but I think the beginning of the season, like, didn't start off. It wasn't my favorite
Mhm.
of, like, the, I
It was
don't
a
know,
little
the
iffy some
beginnings of all the seasons.
episodes.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
little iffy. But they took it up another notch.
Mhm.
They got me in. They got me. It was great. I loved it. The character, like, problems that they have, like, between the dojos or the
Mhm.
actual relationships between, like, parental figures
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
the friendships and stuff.
Mhm.
It's it's similar to what we've seen already in the other seasons, but they do it so well. I don't know. It was just I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved
absolutely.
it.
They do this great thing where they almost swap kids a lot. They swap who's good and who's bad, and they did a really good thing for this season. Of course, there's spoilers. We're gonna do spoilers for this show.
We
It's
are.
just that way you
Yeah.
kind of get your thoughts. But initially off the bat, Anthony LaRusso, which is Danny's son, the little boy that we've seen, big
Great.
twist for this whole season. He's a bully, and he's kind of a little
He's a bully,
bad
straight
guy.
up.
Yeah, he has
Yeah.
a little bully subplot here, so he's kind of
Mhm.
a bad guy side on the Miyagi-Do team, essentially, which is something we haven't seen before. Miyagi-Do is usually
Yeah.
always good. So there's a little bit of a bad guy on that team, while we were kind of rooting for the kid he was bullying on the Cobra Kai side for a little bit. So it was kind of like
For a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, like everybody, they kind of get all hopped up because they're in Cobra Kai, but
Right.
I think they try to
Well,
spice it up.
dude, I was hoping we got LaRusso to join, or, like, Anthony LaRusso to join Cobra.
Yeah.
Sorry, uh,
Eagle Fang? Eagle
of
Fang?
not Eagle Fang, but
Cobra Kai? Wait,
Miyagi-Do.
Miyagi-Do. Okay.
Miyagi-Do,
I was like, there's
and that way
three.
he
Which
would
one?
fight Kenny in
Yeah.
the All Valley
Mhm.
tournament. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome. But, dude, I think they made the right call with a lot of things in the show, like having Tori win,
Mhm.
because Tori won the championship for the girls. Because I was thinking about it, it's like there I there's a couple characters here who I don't care about. Like Sam's
Mhm.
character in the season, I don't care that she won or lost because, like, Tori's storyline was literally on the line
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this, it felt like. So I was like, I didn't really necessarily want Tori to win, but I was like, it makes sense. Like, that's her character arc for her to win like this. All
Yeah.
until we find out that Terry Silver has been paying the
Yes.
ref off, and you're like, "You gotta be joking me, bro."
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get into, I think, the big thing that kind of hooks you in this season is the return of an iconic character from the third Cobra Karate Kid film, Terry Silver, which I thought was one of the best additions to the show. And I
Okay.
love because one, he's a crazy guy. He's psycho,
Yeah,
because he kind of has PTSD from Vietnam. And
sure.
when we meet him, of course, he's kind of this normal, stable guy living this false reality life. Kreese reels him in, and we slowly start to see him decline. But he goes crazy in Cobra Kai, and he's kind of like this. Come on, Kreese, we could do. And it's
Yeah.
like, this is Karate Kid 3. Bring it on, give it to me. And it was great. What do you think of
Yeah.
Terry?
I mean, I liked him a lot. At first, I was like, okay, it just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, okay, each season we're bringing in a new
Yeah,
character,
yeah.
like, just to kind of up the odds. But I think he was a real threat, like, in a good
Mhm,
way in this season.
mhm.
So it was awesome. It was awesome to see him, especially by the end. I was like, when, oh my god, the biggest twist for me
Let's hear
was
it.
Terry Silver, yeah,
Mhm,
Terry
of course.
Silver telling, Stingray to tell the detective that
Yeah.
Kreese beat him up
Mhm.
just to get him in prison so that Kreese would be out of the picture for Cobra Kai coming up in season 5.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
I
crazy.
I think it was wild to see Stingray return, and I was like, oh, there's this guy. Why are they bringing him in? And it's like,
Right.
oh, it makes sense.
That's why.
There's another point there, yeah. And which leads
Totally.
me to go to Kreese now. Is they kind of had now a redemption and kind of a redeeming arc for Kreese
Yeah,
in a little
it's
way. What do you think? Right?
you're right. In a little way, I agree. I don't think he's fully redeemed by any shot, but he's
Mhm, yeah.
having the same realizations that Our boy, gosh, there's so many names. God,
Johhny, yeah,
Johnny's
Johhny.
son. No, Johnny's son.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, Johnny's son
Uh,
too had
oh
the.
my gosh.
I forgot his
Why
name
can't I
though.
think of his name right now?
I
This is
know.
horrible. I
I'm
literally just watched it. Oh
I'm
my gosh.
I'm blank on it. So
It'll
many
come to
thoughts
me. It'll
going.
come to
Yeah,
me.
yeah. But no, I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah. It's like, man, this guy's getting crazy. What am I doing here at Cobra Kai? Because he wanted to follow the rules, but Johhny was like, I
Right.
mean, Terry was like, no, let's go. Come on, let's do this to win, which is what
Right.
Kreese kind of taught him. But yeah, like you said, it was a little too much, and now
Yeah.
Kreese
Well, it's
is
not too
thinking,
much. It's just crazy. I don't know.
yeah, you're
It's
going a
like it's all happening so fast. Can
absolutely.
you imagine a future where Kreese and Johnny could potentially team up
I
in the
mean,
show?
it seems like at first
Seems like it's gonna happen.
I thought Johnny Lawrence was gonna go Cobra Kai with Terry, and then Kreese was gonna go with Miyagi Do to say, hey, I can
Yeah.
help you fight this crazy guy. But
Right.
that's the great thing about the show is that there's a lot of switch ups. You're gonna see that a
Yeah.
lot, but the motivations always seem to stay the same. I think the characters,
For
their
the most part,
development,
yeah.
yeah, over their arc, like there's always like callbacks to original films, and I think that's what's great about this is that you don't have to watch the movies to watch the show. They do a fantastic
Right.
job of establishing who they are, what they did, and what makes them who they are in the show because of the little scenes that they literally show from the 80s, all grainy and all old.
Dude.
It's great.
Every time you show a young Kreese in there talking to Johnny, I was like, yes. And Miyagi
Yes.
popping up, I was like, let's go.
I
I
know.
love it. I
It's
love
so
it.
good. This show will have you on your feet, cheering along, rooting for all the, because there's so many likable
Yeah.
characters that you grow over the
Right.
show. There's Hawk. Like Hawk had probably one of the most
Such a great season for him.
Yeah, right. Like I'm glad he got to win. He got to win the
Oh,
championship this time. Was I'm
it
like,
felt right.
yeah, I felt right. I was like, yeah. I forget what's Miguel. Miguel is the kind of
Miguel.
the main guy. He kind of took a back seat, and they're kind of
In the whole
shifting his
season.
story. Yeah, and I'm like, that's interesting. I like what they're doing with that.
It's almost like they're kind of writing him out for the next season
Yeah, kind of. You know what they could be doing because
because they're filming Black Beetle.
Blue Beetle. Yeah.
I know,
They're
I was
like,
thinking the
hey,
same
he
thing.
got to go do DC film. He's out of this
Right.
Netflix show.
He's got the contract, bro. He's
Yeah.
got the contract.
But yeah,
Um,
I feel you on that.
No, but I got a couple questions for you.
Okay.
There's a scene that really hit me in this show that I
Mhm.
wasn't expecting to. When Johnny is super drunk and we see Miguel come home to a drunk
I realized his name.
Johnny.
His son's name is Robbie, by the way, just if you need that.
Yeah, Robbie. I
Robbie,
pulled it
okay.
up in here so
Okay.
I can say it later. But anyways, Johnny Lawrence is in bed, super
Mhm.
drunk, and confessing his feelings to Miguel just
Mhm.
about how he wants to be a better dad and everything, but calls Miguel Robbie
Yeah.
instead of calling him Miguel, and it breaks Miguel's heart, leading
Yeah.
him
Mhm.
into, I would say, wanting to find his real father,
Yeah. Mhm.
in the end of the show. How'd you feel about that whole exchange?
Part of me feels like it was almost forced. It makes sense. Like, of course, a dad would think more
Mm.
about his own son than, of course, like Miguel, right? But I think it felt a little weird and off-putting because of how much that Johnny was caring about Miguel more than Robbie. Because it seemed like the first
Sure.
half of the season, he didn't care at all. I mean, it's like he didn't even think about Robbie. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, he's trying to be there for Miguel. He's trying to help him and be a good dad. I'm like,
Mhm.
dude, you have your son that's literally
Right.
at Cobra. Like, go to your son. So it was kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, they were like, we have to put a line in. They shifted it, and now it's like, cool. There's the split. Miguel can go to his dad, and Robbie and Johnny had that nice touching moment at the end where it's like, Dad, I'm like, I had this anger, this pent up anger, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And so I think we're gonna see a team up of Robbie, and now he's back with his dad, hopefully again for the new season. It's cool.
I think Robbie really is gonna be the center of season
Mhm.
6 coming in here, and Miguel will not. I think Miguel really just won't be in the season very much. I'm sure he'll come back
Yeah,
at the end or
yeah.
something like that, but, I don't think the story's gonna focus on him for this.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah.
Johnny and Robbie in the old Cobra Kai dojo at the end, very end of the season. What'd you think
Mhm.
about that?
Yeah, I thought it was great. It was touching, and I think it was
Yeah.
needed. Finally, they got there because the whole show. I was saying, I was like, where's the, like, you have to care about your son, dude. Like, where is he at?
Yeah,
They finally
this
have
is-
that moment. You can finally be a good dad, and I think that's what he was looking for with Miguel. He was
Totally,
looking for that,
100%,
and it's
yeah.
like, dude, it's not gonna happen. But finally, he got the redemptive moment as a father, and I'm just looking forward to seeing more of like his
Yeah.
son and dude, like they could be so great together as a team.
Right.
So looking forward to that.
Gonna be awesome. And season 5 is already shot. They shot it back to back with season 4.
Ooh,
So
okay.
they wrapped filming early December, and it's supposed to come out at the end of this year, like, not even next year, like, it's very soon.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah, so we can get
Yeah, it
to
is.
kind of what's next, and there's already hype of new characters. Of course, there's a big
Yep,
cameo if you want to talk about your thoughts and everything.
we got chosen at the end, right?
Yep.
He's gonna team up with
Fantastic.
Daniel, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that too.
Yeah, and I'm looking
That'll be
forward to,
great.
they were also teasing, I didn't know this, but I didn't know there was another Karate Kid film called The Next Karate Kid starring Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank. Did you know
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah, no, I did
So
know
they're
that, I
like,
did know
yo,
that.
they could bring back her too. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
Is it in the same universe?
I think so, because I think Miyagi trained her. But they just didn't
Oh,
reference
yeah, that's
Danny, and
right!
then they didn't reference
That's
that movie.
so
Yeah.
funny.
So
I'm sure they will.
I saw this quote on Twitter. The creators talked about it. It was just earlier today. They said, "Yeah, it's like the Avengers are getting ready for something. They're
That's
prepared."
so
And I'm like,
funny.
"Yes, they're
Cool.
getting everyone for like,
Yeah,
I don't know, something final." But yeah, Terry being the final kind of big bad makes sense. I see Kreese and then Robbie and his, like, it seems like all the bad guys besides Terry are
right.
kind of shifting, and to me
Yeah,
everybody versus Terry, which I'm like, wow.
and I saw that, the showrunners said that they have an end plan, like, they're
Yeah.
not gonna just drag this out forever, like, they have a story they wanna tell, and they know where they're gonna end it, which is more exciting to me than
Yeah.
just like, "Okay, it's another successful season, let's go for another." Like, I
Mhm.
hate that, so I'm
No,
glad.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think the story can feel repetitive at times, but the
It
heart is
does.
there. You know.
It Yeah, if I'm gonna give one piece of criticism, I saw it on Twitter, our good friend Hawk, uh, kinda pointed this out, and every time someone goes to apologize to someone, instead of
Yeah.
that apology getting received, it just gets absolutely backhanded by the other person, and that is happens in every episode.
Hmm.
Every single episode, I started noticing it after I read the tweet. I was like, "Ah, it's just it
Yeah.
gets a little old, I
Yeah.
guess." But
But
it works. It
yeah,
works for
it's
drama. It's
like
like a
what?
soap
Yeah,
opera.
it is. It's like a soap opera. Yeah, I
Yeah,
completely agree, and it's like kind of what Karate Kid is built on. Like they can't fight without them trying to be good, but
I
then it
guess,
just mess
yeah.
up, and you're like, I'm gonna fight you on the mat. So it's like, whatever,
Right.
sure, I'll go for it. You know.
Yeah. I don't think this is like a perfect season by any means, but God, it's good. It's
Oh,
really good.
it's really, I
I
think
loved it.
if I can have like a closing thought for me, it's the best thing was finally seeing Danny and Johnny kind of trying to work their, work
At the
their,
end,
yeah.
yeah,
And so I think it's good that them two together is like, man, that's like OGs and villains. And they're like, hey, we got to put aside our differences to fight
totally.
real bad guys in Terry
Yeah,
Silver being the ultimate baddie. What about you?
absolutely,
What's your
dude.
thought
Oh,
for
I
like
loved it.
final?
That's it. I mean, that's the
Mhm.
same thoughts that I have. I would loved seeing Johnny and, Daniel at the end, letting Sam choose what style between the both of them, because that was a very interesting plot point coming into the last, like, 4 episodes to
Mhm.
me, was the different styles of karate and, like, "Oh my god, you're using Eagle Fang karate,
Yeah.
like, you're stupid," or, "Oh, I see,
Yeah, it
like,
was
you're
good.
using
Mhm.
Miyagi-Do." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I like that. That's fun."
Mhm.
And the other team, Cobra Kai, everybody knows Cobra Kai,
Oh
so it's
yeah,
like,
there was one
that
little
was
cool
sick.
scene where Danny, he's looking at everybody, and I know everybody's gonna tell me in the comments. He was like, "Oh man, they were like copying moves, and they called back to
Yeah,
every
I love
scene." And I
that.
was like, "Yep, that's
Mhm.
great, that's cool." But
That
I,
was super cool.
yeah, I'd say if you haven't seen this show already, I highly recommend it. And
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear in the comments, what'd you think? Let's talk about it. That's it for me.
Totally. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. We appreciate you guys listening to this episode, and you know what? Welcome to 2022, baby. Strictly Casuals hitting the ground running. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so if you want to, if you feel so inclined, leave a sub, leave a like. We appreciate it. And you know what? We're YouTube partners now. We have memberships available too if you would like. You know what? And if you check our Instagram, Twitters, all that kind of stuff, we'll have all the details
Mhm.
about what the membership will get you eventually in the next, in
Yeah,
the next some
yeah.
odd time. But we appreciate you guys. Love you. And we will see you next time on Strictly Casual.
Bye bye, everyone.